A wildfire that began west of Fort Worth has become a major emergency across Palo Pinto and Jack counties. The Ross Fire has burned approximately 50,000 acres, destroyed structures, closed roads, disrupted schools, and forced residents from threatened areas. The fire started Monday afternoon near U.S. Highway 180 and Ross Watson Road, roughly 60 miles west of Fort Worth. By Tuesday night, containment had reached 12%, up from 5% that morning, but most of the perimeter remained unsecured. Mandatory evacuations were ordered in parts of southern Jack County, while other communities were advised to leave or prepare. State officials said about 630 homes were evacuated. At least 5 structures were reported destroyed, including serious damage at Worth Ranch. No injuries or deaths had been reported. The danger is concentrated in rural North Texas, not downtown Fort Worth, but conditions near the fire remain volatile. The first call came shortly before 1:30 Monday afternoon, when the fire was estimated at about 25 acres near Palo Pinto. Roughly 12 hours later, it had reached approximately 18,000 acres. By Tuesday morning, updated mapping placed it near 50,000 acres after flames moved north into Jack County. That increase reflects both genuine fire growth and better mapping. Early estimates come from limited ground or aircraft observations. Later, infrared flights can reveal spot fires and previously unmapped sections of the perimeter. Even with that qualification, officials confirmed extreme behavior. Wind pushed flames through dry grass, brush, and trees, while embers started new fires ahead of the main front. Once those spot fires became established, crews had to defend structures and attack several edges simultaneously. That is how a small grass fire became a 2-county emergency before a complete containment line could be built. Evacuation instructions changed as the fire crossed into Jack County. Some Palo Pinto County residents were strongly advised to leave, while mandatory orders were later issued for parts of southern Jack County, including communities near Barton Chapel. An evacuation recommendation gives families time to move medication, documents, pets, and livestock. A mandatory order means that preparation time has ended. Residents should check the newest county map because boundaries and safe routes can change with the wind. An evacuation center opened at the Twin Lakes Community Activity Center in Jacksboro, and local organizations arranged temporary space for displaced livestock. Perrin-Witt schools canceled classes Tuesday, while Jacksboro schools delayed opening. The safest approach is to follow current county instructions for the exact address, not an old screenshot, unofficial social media post, or route mentioned in an earlier video. At least 5 structures were reported destroyed, although the final damage total remained incomplete. Confirmed losses included homes, ranch buildings, vehicles, equipment, and a family business near Grafford. Worth Ranch, operated by the Longhorn Council of Scouting America, suffered severe damage when the fire moved through the historic camp. No scouts, campers, or guests were present, and the camp ranger evacuated safely. The impact extends beyond buildings. Burned fencing, pasture, hay, machinery, and water systems can disrupt ranch operations for months. However, dramatic aerial images should not be treated as proof that every structure inside the perimeter was destroyed. Assessment teams may need time to reach areas containing active fire, damaged power lines, propane tanks, or unstable trees. The confirmed loss count could therefore change. At this cutoff, officials had not reported any injuries or death. Three factors aligned over North Texas: extremely dry vegetation, record-level heat, and enough wind to push flames and embers across open country. Temperatures around Dallas-Fort Worth reached approximately 108 to 109 degrees during the days surrounding the ignition. Heat does not start a wildfire by itself, but it dries grass, leaves, and small branches. With low humidity and weeks of little measurable rain, those fuels ignite more easily. Wind then bends flames into fresh vegetation and carries embers beyond the visible fire line. The Keach-Byram Drought Index helps measure long-term soil moisture depletion on a scale from 0 to 800, but it cannot predict fire behavior by itself. Fuel type, fuel loading, humidity, wind, and terrain must also be considered. The Ross Fire expanded so rapidly because several hazards reinforced one another, not because of a single temperature or drought number. Local departments are working with the Texas A&M Forest Service, TIFMA strike teams, equipment operators, law enforcement, medical personnel, and aviation crews. Bulldozers are cutting line while engines and hand crews defend ranches and homes. Aircraft include tankers, water scoopers, helicopters, and coordination platforms. A temporary flight restriction covers the incident area because an unauthorized drone can force firefighting aircraft to leave the sky. Water and retardant drop slow flames, but ground crews must connect those treated areas to secure roads or fire lines. 12% containment means commanders believe 12% of the perimeter can hold under expected conditions. It does not mean only 12% of the fire has been extinguished. FEMA also approved a fire management assistance grant allowing federal reimbursement for 75% of eligible suppression costs. That supports the response but does not automatically compensate every private property loss. The weather is changing slightly, but it is not ending the fire threat. A heat advisory covers North and Central Texas through Wednesday evening, with highs from the upper 90s to about 104 degrees, and heat index values near 108 in some locations. A weak front may bring somewhat lower temperatures and slightly higher humidity. That could help crews temporarily, but western North Texas still faces elevated fire conditions. There is a 10 to 30% chance of showers or thunderstorms. Many locations may receive little or no rain because the lower atmosphere remains dry. Storm outflows could also create sudden wind shifts near the fire. Scattered rain chances continue into Thursday, but forecasters do not expect widespread drought relief. Hot, dry weather is forecast to rebuild by the weekend. One cooler period or isolated shower should not be interpreted as the end of the emergency. The Ross Fire is creating two separate health hazards: extreme heat and smoke. People loading vehicles, moving animals, or working outdoors can develop heat exhaustion quickly. Heavy sweating, weakness, nausea, headache, and dizziness are warning signs. Confusion or loss of consciousness may indicate heat stroke and requires emergency help. Smoke is expected across western North Texas, with some haze reaching the Dallas-Fort Worth region. Wildfire smoke contains PM2, 5 particles that can enter deep into the lungs. Children, older adults, pregnant people, outdoor workers, and those with heart or lung disease face greater risk. Check AirNow for current conditions. When smoke is heavy, reduce outdoor activity, close windows, use suitable filtration, and wear a well-fitted N95 when necessary. These precautions never replace an evacuation order. Drivers should slow down, use headlights, and never bypass a road closure. The Ross Fire is enormous and destructive, but saying that all of Texas or Fort Worth is burning would be misleading. The active perimeter covers rural areas of Palo Pinto and Jack counties, about 60 miles west of Fort Worth. The cause remains undetermined. Investigators have not publicly confirmed whether equipment, debris burning, power infrastructure, lightning, or another source started the fire. Blame should not be assigned without evidence. The 50,000-acre figure is also an estimate based on mapping. Containment can rise while acreage stays unchanged because crews are securing the perimeter around land already burned. The objective conclusion is that dry vegetation, extreme heat, wind, and rapid expansion created a major rural disaster. Homes and ranch infrastructure have been lost, but the complete cost is still unknown. Stating those limits strengthens the report rather than minimizing the event. Firefighters will keep extending containment lines, defending structures, and searching for spot fires. Damage teams will inspect property when conditions are safe. Residents should follow county authorities, the Texas A&M Forest Service, and INCIWeb. Leave immediately if an order covers your address. Do not cross a checkpoint to recover belongings, move animals, or record video. Anyone under an advisory should prepare medication, identification, water, chargers, clothing, documents, and animal supplies. Avoid sparks from outdoor burning, welding, mowing dry grass, hot vehicles, or dragging trailer chains. Keep drones away from the fire. At this cutoff, approximately 50,000 acres had burned. Containment stood at 12%, about 630 homes had been evacuated, and at least 5 structures were destroyed. Thank you for watching Extreme Weather US. If verified coverage is useful to you, consider subscribing. Stay safe and follow local instructions.